right. And the Muslim men are the ones who are flying these hoes out the Dubai and dookie on them. So I mean, I'm not taking they word seriously, bro. I'm just not.
We interrupt this program to prescribe you with 1,000 milligrams of red vitamins.
Right here, right now. It's the right time, It's the right sound. Right now. Tell the whole pipe down. Tell that nigga pipe down.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Reclaim Your Throne coming at you with another crazy video. But first, my goal is to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. You already know. Reclaim Your Throne.
I am sure there are verses to back this up, but it's just like they'll just catch you because these people have been studying the Bible for like 20. I can't catch up. If we go into the Bible verses, it's like I can bring up one or two, but I don't have the time to become to become a subject matter expert. I'm not. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then also, guys, as a practice, don't even argue with someone, or don't even have a debate if someone's premise is off. Like, if someone was to argue with you about the sky, and their premise is that the sky is green, and it's blatantly blue, why even have a discussion with them? It's the same thing with if you can't argue with a woman whose premise is that men have it easy and women have it difficult. Like, the premise is off. So what's even the point? You know what I'm saying? So, and that's the thing with a lot of these fake tradcon undercover feminists. If they found a way to use the Bible against men and justify why they're saying the things that they're saying to men, just don't even argue with it. Don't get into a theological discussion with them. What's the point? You're wasting your time.
Yeah, because I mean, you can pick and choose any verse in the Bible, but in the Bible, for one, there are plenty of examples of men who were, considered blessed to God, who had a ton of sex, who had a ton of, concubines, who had, multiple wives. I mean, you can go down the list from Lamech, Abraham, King David, Solomon. I mean, we see all of these examples. We see all of these examples of, men who were not living how these women are interpreting what the Bible says. So it's just funny to kind of see them, pick and choose. But at the end of the day, you got to take it all or you got to take none of it. So there are going to be some men who are going to be able to do different things than other men. That's just the reality. And, it's up to God to decide if you want to get into that type of lane there. But I try and keep my arguments from a secular point of view because, we're living in reality and, we can only control what's in front of us. So that's what we're going to speak on.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you something, Reclaim Your Throne. We've had multiple Christian influencers on here, and Pearl says sell marriage to a man, right? And their number one go-to is, well, if a man gets married, because Pearl will ask, what does a man get out of marriage? Like, let's say we have a 27-year-old Ivy League undergrad, Ivy League law school, 28 years old, about to go out into the world, and he's saying, reclaim your throne. Should I get married, right? Well, the Christian influencers say, oh, well, you get a virtuous woman, right? He's even laughing. Like, what is that even? Because I would say that when they say that you get a virtuous woman, women get rewarded for not being virtuous. And then what is there to keep a woman virtuous in dating and in marriage? Like, what do you think?
There's really nothing. There's no bounds that these women won't go. If they have that handheld device in their hand that we call a cell phone, it's pretty much OV. The only thing that's going to keep them at bay is the game of the man. That's just the reality. It's the way that she views that man. Most men have come to terms and accepted the fact that we're not getting virgins. We're not getting virtuous women. We're not getting modest women. We're not getting these type of biblical attributes out of the women that we choose to marry. And a lot of the times these trad con influencers are speaking, trying to say, oh, well, men need to do this, men need to do that, but they're having sex before men are having sex. That's the reality of the situation. These women are having more sexual partners and having sex earlier than the men are, statistically all the way around. So, they're speaking from a high horse, but they're not actually doing what they're telling the men to do, because at a moment's notice, they still have the right to say, I'm not happy, I'm going to move on. And however they do it, at the end of the day, they end up on a new dig. So, it's not really much ground that they have to stand on when they're lecturing to men, because they aren't even following their own advice in most cases. And men know, especially young men nowadays, we know these chicks are not coming out of high school, virgin. So they're already racking up bodies in high school, and men have come to accept the fact. I mean, like I said, there are 10% of women between the age of 18 and 24 on OF. That's just OF, not considering seeking arrangements, Tinder, Hinge, Bumble, all these other dating apps. And what do you think they're doing on these apps? Like it's obvious, but they still are going to try and sell the purity. And most of these guys are a lot of guys, I'll say, are waking up. Most of these guys are falling for it, and that's why we're seeing people getting divorced at higher rates, and then we're also seeing just men completely getting finessed in the divorce courts.
What would you say? So we had we had the discussion on our show about if there was a whore who repented and wanted to come back into the church, like Nala, would there be a circumstance you would allow her into the church, and what would you make her do?
Oh man. I mean, she gonna have to come in there with a full burqa on, you know what I'm saying? She gonna have to cover up everything. Can't nobody know who she is. She gonna have to sit in the corner. She gonna have to tithe, put in the collection plate every Sunday. She better not miss no Sunday. And then, we can start talking about other activities that she can possibly get involved in with the church. But I know one thing. If she's coming like from a Nala background, she definitely can't have no contact with no husbands. She definitely can't have no contact with no children. And her contact with the leader of the church, the pastor, reverend, preacher, whatever you want to call it, priest, that contact has to be very limited. I mean, at the end of the day, obviously their salvation, but there also needs to be atonement. There also needs to be some type of action implemented where, I mean, maybe she gonna have to be the janitor of the church. I think that is a good calling for these women, because I mean, they were cum dumpsters, cum toilets, and now they need to come in the church and clean toilets. That is what there needs to be some type of, for real, there needs to be some type of disciplinary action.
So we said that, like I said, okay, she needs to be brought into the church by a man of God through marriage, right? Then she has to have 2 to 3 other guys' kids. Then no whoring whatsoever for 10 to 15 years. And she also cannot try to preach or proselytize for 10 years.
Yeah, see, I don't want to, I don't want to set no man up for failure. So I don't even think she doesn't deserve a man. She really doesn't. Like, if a woman goes through that life, she doesn't deserve a man, and any man that does get with her is a simp. And he's pretty much signing the death of that relationship by taking her seriously. At the end of the day, she needs to be, I mean, honestly, I barely want her seen, but definitely not heard. She is going to have to be some type of outcasted, janitorial, landscaping position. Like she needs to service the church in, the most laborious way possible to earn the good graces of the congregation.
What would you do when the men, as they do, start being interested in her?
Because
they're gonna see through the burqa. She's got a good body.
Yeah.
Like, there's too many sexist guys in church. Somebody's gonna do it.
Yeah,
So
the preacher gonna have to go on overtime preaching a sermon of resisting lust and casting out whores and stoning whores. Like, he's gonna have to go fire and brimstone, old Southern Baptist style, like for real, to really hone it into these simps' minds. That you are not to deal with this woman. She is working on her atonement. She is working on her, not literal, but her proverbial tarring and feathering in the church. Like she's working on getting back in the good graces of God, so everybody need to leave her alone. And that's what he needs to be these hoes need to be singled out in the congregation. They need to be singled out. They need to have a spotlight on their ass and be like, this is an example of a bitch who fucked up in the name of the Lord. Like that. This is what they need to do to really drive it home.
Yeah, and the problem is there's just too much. There's no consequence for being a whore. There's really not nowadays. It's like they get an influencer career and you get like a decent looking guy. I understand he's a simp, but like most of them are so crazy. That's what they were going to get anyways. Even the fact that they could get a guy. Go ahead.
On that note, the show before that, we were talking about that Lil Tay and how she dropped the OF link on her 18th birthday.
Right.
And we were saying, you might as well, because she can make 20-30 mil by the time she's 25, repent, and then find a church simp to marry and have a marriage and kids with, and then become a TradCon influencer and go to Turning Point USA and go to Turning Point USA's leadership conference.
And then cheat with the guys there. I've heard there's a lot of cheating. So, there you go. She can have her cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
Why not?
What do you think of that?
Yeah, this is pretty much majority of modern women's playbook nowadays. If they have any type of social media presence as a high schooler and then they get to the adult age of 18, we already know that majority of them are at least considering starting an OF, and that's pretty much all you need. Once you're considering it, then they start posting seductive pictures online, and then they instantly monetize their sexuality while also shaming the men who are waiting, for their birthday. They're gonna start their OF, but then they're also gonna shame those men. So, and a lot of times these men, they don't care about being shamed. If not, they want to be shamed. We have a findom epidemic, financial dominatrix epidemic going on X, especially. It's opened up so much on X, and you're seeing it all over the place where these guys are begging to get ridiculed, begging to get disrespected, begging to have their masculinity challenged online in public for all the world to see. And, I just think that, there's no turning this thing back. It's OV. It's OV.
Yeah. I'm going to read the super chats. It says marriage is only worth it for men in Afghanistan. I don't know. I don't know. I haven't been to the Middle East. So I don't really know. I can't say I haven't seen it, but I've heard in Twitter spaces, they're not as pure as they say. I did live in a pretty Muslim area when I was in London, and those girls were throwing it back too. That's what I'm inclined to believe. But hey, I could be wrong. Corey, Doc Fund, thank you for the super chat.
Yeah, a lot of people like to say, "Oh, I was on a podcast about a year ago and with a Muslim guy, and he was like, oh, well, if you get a Muslim woman," I just had to laugh, bro. It's like, dude, if the woman is in the United States, I mean, maybe in the Middle East, like if you go actually to the Middle East where, you know, there ain't no real infrastructure and it's just desert, maybe you can get, but at that point, why would you even want a bitch like that, bro? She don't know shit. Like it's just, it's not even worth it. And then you gotta do all this extra shit to be accepted by her family. It's not even worth it. But like, if she's in the States and she's claiming to be Muslim, do you know how many Muslim women I've seen who was, you know, popping all that Muslim shit, but then starting to OF? I mean, look at Brittany Renner. She was saying that she was Muslim after getting ran through by, you know, basketball teams. And then she gets online and talking about, oh, well, she's Muslim and alhamdulillah and all this kind of stuff. And the Muslims accepted her because pretty much they're just ganging up. They're just gang. It's like, okay, boom, she's part of the gang now, and they're going to accept her. And they're not even bringing the real hammer down as far as judgment goes for her past. Like, if you look at her Instagram comments before she started hoeing up again, once she put on that burqa and deleted like her past shit, they's in the comments talking about some mashallah, alhamdulillah, and all this other type of shit. Like, come on now. They gave her a pass. So I don't see Muslim men, especially in the West, holding women accountable at all. I don't see it.
No, I don't. And they try to gaslight me too, because I've had some pretty devout Muslims on my show, or they claim to be anyways, and they'll always try to tell me their women are different, but I'm like, I had Muslim women on the podcast too, and they would do and say the same things.
Right. And the Muslim men are the ones who are flying these hoes out the Dubai and dookie on them. So yeah. I mean, I'm not taking their word seriously, bro. I'm just not.
Yeah, what religion should I grift next year? What do you think? Which one?
I don't know. I heard Buddhism is the wave now. You know what I'm saying? You can get a flexible bitch. Get you a flexible bitch. She gonna do crisscross applesauce on the dick.
You gonna make some serious money at Scientology?
Scientology? Should I? I'm just, you know, I'm getting to that age, so I'm like, which one should I pick? I'm thinking, I was thinking the Orthodox really want me, so. Women are the same in the Middle East. The difference is the other wives keep the guarded tool in check to get more attention from the husband. Okay.
Good point.
Cool. All right. You got any final thoughts on the topic that you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, in closing, I would just say these TradCon women, they're really snakes in the grass. You got to be careful if they are, you know, online trying to present themselves as holier than thou. I mean, it's pretty much going to come out that they're definitely being hypocrites. But I just don't want you guys to fall for it and you guys to try and cuff it and think that you're getting a deal or think that you're getting some type of rare unicorn woman, when in all actuality, she's just like all the other women out here. The only difference is, you know, she's posting Bible verses on her story, you know, every other day. So it's just like, you're not really getting a good deal with a self-proclaimed TradCon woman. Like, if she's really a traditional woman, she doesn't have to say it. You see it in her actions. You see that she got an old Android and she ain't worried about no blue messages. You see that, you know, she is actually covering up and she ain't taking like top-down pictures to show her cleavage. You see that she's not having a heavy social media presence and saying, oh, well, I'm on social media because I got a business, knowing that these hoes are not making no damn money online.
No money.
So just be careful, guys, and don't fall for the grifts, man, because they are really getting a lot of these dudes. A lot of you dudes are wifing it. You know, all the woman has to do is put a cross in her bio, say a couple racist things, and you dudes are just eating it all up.
Yeah. You want to tell them where they can find you?
Yep, you can find me on YouTube, #ReclaimYourThrone. You can also, if you're trying to get in the best shape of your life, get the Reclaim Your Throne Elite D1 training course. It is in my YouTube descriptions on every video.
Cool.
And you can find me on X, Reclaim D1.
Cool.
I've been putting your channel in the chat this whole time. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming. Come by. We do this every day around the same time. So if you ever see a topic, feel free to jump on.
Oh, for sure. I'm going to be here more often, for sure.
Cool. All right. Thanks for coming.
All right, y'all, Reclaim Your Throne.
Want to become an elite level athlete? Well, look no further. The Reclaim Your Throne Elite D1 training course is all you need to take your performance from subpar to the creme de la creme of athletes all around the world. The purpose of this course is to give you a comprehensive weight training, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance program that is meant to prepare young athletes for collegiate and professional sports. This course is packed with over 2 hours of creative, action-packed lifts narrated and coached by yours truly to assure increased strength, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance. Hey, I get it. Training alone can be tough and can even make you feel misguided or somewhat unmotivated. But with this course, I walk you step by step through each and every lift to make sure you're using the proper form to prevent injuries and that you're hitting the correct muscle groups to render maximum results. So what are you waiting for? It's now or never. So go ahead and get the training course today so you too can reclaim your throne.